Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is Tuesday, February the 3rd. Welcome to our Tuesday edition of our Leadership Development Call. My name is Miriam Kareem. So happy to have you all here so we can learn how to grow our businesses. Amazing training. If you have not gotten a message about tonight's training, while I'm talking, get those people on, get them on because this one's going to be amazing. Um, quick trip to the newbie corner. So today, I got some feedback from someone. It wasn't, well, I'm not going to say it was negative. Okay. I got some feedback from someone and someone that I had interacted with maybe a couple of years ago, maybe during COVID. Okay. What was that? 3, 4 years ago. Anyway, I sent them a message, hey, so and so, could you send this video to anybody, that loves coffee? Super simple. They could say yes or no. And mind you, I patronized this person's business in the past, which is why I had their phone number. So, I get a message today and a person tells me, please remove my number from your phone, from your, I guess, your phone list. And emotional intelligence, you guys. My first mind was to, like, oh, I'm gonna say something back, but I didn't. Because I was like, well, in that case, I didn't do that, you guys. You all would have been proud of me because I was like, oh, I felt it. I felt it boiling up inside. I was gonna let this person have it, but I didn't. Um, I actually wished the person, well, I wish you all the best and success in your business. Delete. The person messages back. Now they don't want my number in their, if they don't want their number in my phone, but you gonna mess me back saying thank you. That's when I was just like, okay, I'm gonna let that go and keep going, because at the end of the day, every interaction is going to teach you something, whether it's how to conduct yourself, whether it's who to deal with, whether it's who really didn't want to deal with you. You're going to learn something. So take notes when those interactions happen. Don't be so quick to interact because it ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. I feel so much better, you guys, today after I just let it go. And I was just like, wow, that could have been, you don't know how that could have turned out either. You just don't know. So I just let it go. But that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to our teacher tonight, Coach Seymour Greenish Blake. He is an amazing mentor, amazing coach, so much experience in the network marketing field on how to grow your business, a six-figure earner with our Green Organics company. Just a great person to just sit down and talk to. You should just have a basket around him because there's always going to be some gems dropping. You can catch those gems. I'm serious. So that being said, Coach Seymour Greenish Blake, are you available, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Thank you for your introduction.
You're
It's always
welcome.
funny hearing when you introduce me, the things that you say. It just always put a smile on my face and also in my heart to know that, I'm getting across to somebody. And I really appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you and the team that we have in general, because without this, we won't be where we are going and where we at this time with this company that we are with. So again, thank you. Uh, Tonight topic's going to be very interesting. Um, I hope that you invited some friends and some families and some team members because we all need to hear this. And some of the information that I'm going to be bringing to you, well, I'm not so some. All information that I bring to you every week is that it's not just information that I'm putting out there. These are some of these things are things that I went through in life myself. So I'm able to speak on it because I've been there. I've been through it. So I'm hoping that tonight again that I reach somebody, that these words get into your system and wake you up because you need it. So with that said, I'm gonna go off camera so I can make sure and stick to my notes and get this message across to you. It might be a little longer than my normally weekly topic, but I just have to get this out to you guys because this is something that we do every single day. And you'll understand what I mean by that once I get started. So with that said, let's go ahead and get off camera. So tonight's topic is this: stop. And I'm going to say that again: stop talking negative about yourself, even if you're doing it jokingly. Because when you do that, your body is listening. Okay? So like I said, tonight we're going to talk about something that seems small, but quietly controls the direction of people's lives. The way you speak about yourself, not how others speak about you, but the way how you speak about you. Because whether you realize it or not, your words are instructions. Your words are signals. Your words are energy in motion. Many people think negative self talk is harmless if it's said jokingly. And I want y'all to put a one in the chat if you have ever said these words: I am broke. I am slow. I'm forgetful. I'm too old to try to do that now. I'm not good at that. If you said those words even recently, put a one in the chat. How many of you have laughed after saying these words? If that was you, put a one in the chat. See, saying this and laughing about it, it's not funny. See, your mind is not laughing. Your nervous system is not laughing. Not even your subconscious is laughing, but your body is listening. See, your body does not know the difference between a joke and a command. Because when you speak, you're commanding your mind and your body to do exactly what you said. Your brain only knows repetition and beliefs. So if you repeat something long enough, your brain going to say, this must be who we are. And it starts organizing your behavior around it. That means that your jokes can quietly become your identity. Pause for a moment and think about that. That whatever you are saying, your body and your brain turns that into your identity. How many things in your life started as something that you said casually about yourself? Some people say nothing ever works out for me. And then life starts reflecting that. How many of you have been at events when they're calling out your ticket number and you said to yourself, I never win anything, and wonder why you're not winning? Okay. Some people say I'm always tired, and then guess what? Your energy starts to drop. Some of you might say, I can't remember anything. And then your memories start weakening. And it's not because it's broken, but because they are programming themselves. Words are not just sounds, they carry meanings. Those meanings create beliefs, and those beliefs drives behavior, and then your behavior produces the results. So if your words are negative, your results will quietly lean in that exact direction. So let me tell you something powerful tonight. Your mind job is not to judge your words. Your mind's job is to make your words a reality. So if you say, I'm not confident, your brain says, understood. We will act accordingly. But if you say, I'm improving every day, then your brain will start to say again, understood. Let's find evidence. See, your brain is always trying to do what? Prove you right without you realizing that you're doing that. Imagine what happens if someone speaks negative about themselves for 10, 20, 30 years. What that going to become? It become a script running in the background of their life. So tonight we're going to rewrite that script. And we're going to do that because you deserve words that build you, not break you. So I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. And when you take that breath, I want you to feel that breath. See, your body respond to what you focus on. It does it the same way that it responds to what you're saying. See, there was a man that I once knew, and this guy always said he was bad with money. He said it at dinner sometimes, he said it with friends, and then he started laughing about it. Made statements like, I'm just terrible with money. And years passed by and nothing changed for that guy. And it wasn't because he couldn't learn. It wasn't because, he lacked the opportunity to learn, but it was because his identity was tied to that statement. And then one day, someone told him, stop talking like that about yourself. Start being positive about yourself. Then he started saying instead, I'm learning to manage money well. Slowly, his decision improved. His awareness began to improve. His results began to improve. His words changed first. His life followed after. That was 14 years ago. That guy was me. 14 years ago, I got involved with a financial strategy business. I learned to handle my money the right way because I started listening. I started changing the things that I said. I started being negative about the way I was talking about myself, even when I considered it a joke, but it was a reality. So I want you to reflect that silently. That's the power that you hold in your mouth. So what you have been calling yourself that you no longer want to be. You don't have to say it loud. You just got to notice it. Because awareness is the first step to change. So from this moment forward, we got to start replacing the things that we say are negative about ourselves. Not faking it, not pretending it. Start replacing it. Instead of saying, I'm bad at this, start saying, I'm learning it. I'm learning this. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, what I want you to start saying is, I'm growing into my best self. Instead of saying, I'll never get it, I want you to start saying, I'm improving every day. Because if you're saying these negative things about yourself, and you don't have to answer this one in the chat, but I want you to answer this question to yourself. Are you where you want to be right now, financially, health wise? Answer that question. If you're not where you want to be, where you think you need to be at, it's because of the words that you're saying, the negative stuff that you're saying about yourself. And once you start doing that, you will feel the difference in the words. Your body will feel it. Your posture will feel it. And most of all, your energy will start to feel it. See, words starts to shape posture. It shapes your confidence and your actions. Stand tall for a moment. I want you to just, if you're if you're crouched over, I want you to sit up straight. Sit up tall. I want you to roll your shoulders back. Lift your chin just slightly. Now, once you do that, I want you to say this. I want you to say this quietly to yourself. I respect myself. And I want you to feel that. I want you to say to yourself, life over myself. I want you to speak life over yourself. I want you to feel that. I want you to say, my words build my future. And I want you to feel that. This is not motivation. It's a mental conditioning that I want you to start practicing. See, confidence is not something that you wait for. It is something that you speak into existence. There was an athlete who once said, I'll never talk bad about myself. My opponent will do that for me. So stop talking negative about yourself because, yes, other people are doing it. So why are you joining them and doing it? And then wonder why you're not progressing in life. Just imagine going one full year without insulting yourself. What life will look like, what it will feel like. No negative jokes, no put downs, no self critics, just spoken out loud. How different would your confidence be? How different would your decision be? How different would your results be? See, you're not required to be perfect. You're required to be kind to yourself. And kindness starts in your words. So from today forward, guard your mouth like you guard your wallet. Guard your speech like you guard your health. Because your words affect both of those. Every time that you speak, you're planting seeds. Some seeds grow flowers, some grows weed. What seeds are you going to be planting? It's your choice. So right now, quietly say to yourself, I no longer speak negative about myself, not even as a joke. I want you to say that to yourself. I no longer speak negative about myself, not even as a joke. And I want you to say it again and again and let it settle because your future is listening, your body is listening, your life is listening. So from this day forward, your words will match the life that you want to build. Because your words are energy, people, and energy creates reality. I want you to take another deep breath with me again. Because what we are doing here is not just motivation, like I said earlier. We are literally reshaping internal patterns. See, most people try to change their life by changing action first. But action comes before your identity. See, identity is built from the words that you repeat about yourself. So if you say, I'm not disciplined, then guess what? You will struggle to act disciplined. If you say, I'm becoming disciplined, then your brain starts looking for that discipline action. So watch what you say. If you say that, you know, well, I just said that. So the real battlefield is not outside of you guys. It's inside of your self talk. Some of you learn negative self talk from some of you were a child, and you're still talking that way. So that could be years, more than 20, 30 years of you talking negative about yourself. See, maybe in school somebody told you that you were slow. How many of you always said these words? I'm shy. That was my biggest thing. I'm a shy person. I can't get up and talk in front of people. And that stuck with me for years and years and years. Even though when people was telling me closed mouth don't get fed. But I'm shy, I can't do that. See, maybe somebody even told you that you talk too much. So you start not talking a lot because somebody told you that. Maybe someone said to you, you'll never be successful. And I know a few people on this call. Coach Marcus, for once, was told that. And without realizing it, guess what? You started repeating it. At first, it was just their voice saying it. Then it became yours. But hear this clearly tonight, team. A label given to you in the past does not have to be a label you carry into your future. I'm going to say that again. A label given to you in the past does not have to be the label that you carry into your future. You are allowed to outgrow old descriptions. You're allowed to rewrite your identity. And it begins with your words, not somebody else's, your words. Your subconscious mind is like soil. Whether you plant repeatedly, then it will grow. Whatever you plant repeatedly, it will grow. So if you plant, I can't, you grow limitations. If you plant, I'm trying, you're growing hesitation. If you're planting, I will, then guess what? You grow directions. And if you plant an I am, you grow identity. That is why the words I am are so powerful. I don't know if y'all remember that time when I talk about those two words. I am. It is a very powerful word. Anything that follows I am becomes a quiet instruction to your brain. See, when someone says I am unlucky, your brain looks for proof. When you said that you're blessed, and your brain also looks again for proof. Your mind is a search engine for your statements that you make. So tonight we're going to become intentional with the word I am. Close your eyes for a minute and silently say with your eyes closed, I am becoming my best self. I want you to say that slowly in your mind. I want you to see how your body feels when you say that. Now silently say, I'm proud of who I am becoming. Feel the difference. See, your nervous system responds to language. That is why two people can have the same situation, but different self talk and get different results. One person says, this is hard. Another person may say, this is a challenge that I can grow from. Same situation, different internal dialogues and different outcome. So your self talk either drains your power or it will feed your power. See, there was a woman who used to say every morning, I look terrible. And she started to believe it. She carried herself that way for a long time. Her confidence started to show it. Someone challenged her once with one sentence. Instead of "I look terrible," she started to say, "I'm learning to appreciate myself." Within months, her posture changed, her energy changed, her presence changed. And it wasn't because her face changed or her body changed, it was because her words changed. That was my mom when she lost her breast to breast cancer. And back then, there wasn't to where you could, they did restructure. So there was basically a hole right in her chest. My mom used to say she feel like a monster. And I had to remind her that my dad still loves her, that I love her. And no matter what happened, God loves you. So when I tell you words are strong, confidence is not built in a mirror, it's built in your mouth. Some of you are waiting to feel confident before you speak positively. But confidence grows after positive speech, not before it. You don't wait to feel strong to speak strength. You don't speak strength and then strength grows. Your words leads, your feeling follows. Now let me say something important, guys. Speaking positive about yourself is not arrogance. It's not vain. It is alignment. Arrogance put others down. Alignments build yourself up. You can be humble and still speak life over yourself. You can be kind and still say, "I am capable." You can be loving and still say, "I deserve good things." There's nothing wrong with speaking well about the person that you are becoming. In fact, it is necessary because if you don't speak life over yourself, the world will gladly speak limitations over you. And you must decide which voice is going to be louder. I want you to take another deep breath with me, and I want you to think about how many times you apologize for who you are. Think about how many times you downplayed your gifts. How many times you laughed off your own potentials. That stops today. So from today forward, you don't shrink yourself with words. You don't insult yourself with humor. You don't call yourself names even casually because every word, like I said, is a seed and you're planting your future daily. Imagine your mind as a garden. Would you walk into your garden and pour poison on your plants? And it's powerful. It's crazy that I wrote this statement in here because Paula posted a post earlier and she said, "We are the only beings on this world that will put poison on our food to prevent other animals from eating it, and we eating it ourselves." I prepared this last week. Who would have known that she would have posted the same thing that I just said? Would you walk into your garden and pour poison on your plants? And of course not, but we do it. So why pour poison into your mind with your words? Your mind deserves better, guys. You deserve better. Now quietly repeat in your mind, "I speak to myself with respect. I speak to myself with patience. I speak to myself with belief." Feel that calm in those words. Respect, patience, belief. It is not hype. It is mental nutrition. Just like your body needs healthy food, your mind needs healthy language. And when your language improves, your life improves. Because your words guides your focus guides your decision, and your decision guides your future. You're closer than you think to the life you want. You just got to speak on it. Your mouth must agree with your vision. So from this moment on, your words and your future must be on the same team. And when they are, progress becomes natural. You're not behind, you're not becoming, you're not broken. You're building. You're not lost, you're learning. Okay? Let those words settle in you. Let me say it again. You're not behind, you're becoming. You're not broken, you're building. You're not lost, you're learning. Let it sink in, because this is how transformation may sound, and this is how new identity starts to begin. Take one more breath with me and remember this sentence. The way you speak about yourself determines the way that you show up for yourself. I'm going to say that again. The way you speak about yourself will determine the way that you will show up for yourself. And how you show up determines on what you create in your life. Your words are energy, and your energy is shaping your future right now. So, right now, I want you to realize something very, very simple, but very deep. You're always listening to yourself, even when you think you're not. Your inner voice is always talking to you. Most people never question what the voice is saying, they just accept it. So, tonight, I want you to begin questioning it, because not every thought that you think is true. Not every sentence in your mind deserves a stay. Some of those sentences were built from old experiences. Some of them was even built from fear or embarrassment. And majority of them were built from other people's opinions. But I want you to hear this clearly. Your past voice does not have to be your future voice. You can upgrade it. You can upgrade your inner language. Same way you upgrade your phone, your car, your home, you can upgrade your self-talk. And when your self-talk upgrades, your self-image upgrades with it. When your self-image upgrades, guess what? Your life starts to expand. Most people are not limited by ability, they're limited by internal language. If someone constantly say, I can't, then guess what? They'll stop trying. If you constantly say, I always mess up, guess what's going to happen? It become hesitant to you to do something. If you say, I'm not that person, then you'll never grow into that person that you want to be. You just keep being where you at if you're not happy with where you're at this moment. Your words quietly decide what you attempt, and what you attempt decides your opportunity. So tonight, I'm going to interrupt that pattern. I want you to imagine something. Imagine your best friend spoke to you the way that you speak to yourself. Would you keep that person as a friend if you were speaking negative to yourself? If your friend said to you, you know what, man, you'll never get it right. You're not good enough. You'll always fail. Would you feel supported by that person? Of course not. So why do you do it to yourself? Why? Why do you do it to yourself? And then you wonder why confidence feels low to you. So your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. Because how you treat yourself teaches others how to treat you. If you honor yourself with words, other feels that way, same way towards you. If you tear yourself down, then others gonna do the same. Your words are broadcasting your self worth. Let's shift something gently now. Instead of saying, "Why am I like this?" Tell yourself, "How can I grow from it?" Instead of saying, "I'm not good at this," say, "I'm getting better at this." Instead of saying, "This is impossible," say, this is new for me." Feel the difference in those phrases. They're not going to lie to you. They don't exaggerate. They simply open a possibility. And once that possibility is open, that is where growths live. Your mind works when given empowering instructions. So if you say, "I'll figure it out," your brain starts searching for it. If you say, "I can't," then your brain stops searching. It just shuts down. Because if you say you can't do something, you're not going to keep trying to do it. You're going to just stop. And you stop because your brain stopped. So the quality of your questions and statements shapes your intelligence in action. This will give you an idea of how the coaches on this call are where they're at today. We're coaches because we speak positive stuff into our lives. We speak positive stuff into our lives. So if negative self-talk isn't a question, why should positive self-talk be questioned? If you can't believe the words about yourself, you can't learn to believe the best. Both are stories. One builds while the other one breaks. You get to choose tonight. I want you to think about the time that you succeeded in something, a real moment, a real win, a real breakthrough. Do you remember how that felt when that happened? You know what? That version of you still exists. And that version grows when you speak life into it. You're not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. And your words determine you. Your words determine how you use that experience. So let me say this, which is very important. Progress require patience with yourself. If you insult yourself every time you make a mistake, growth becomes painful. What if Miriam would have went off on that lady or that person that told her to take her number out the phone today? It might have been painful, but it would have been more painful because then she would have been stressing over it. Okay? A child learning to walk, what happens when that child is learning to walk? He falls or she falls many times. But imagine if that child said, "I'll never walk." Walking will never happen for that child. But yet, adults, we do this to ourselves with goals, with business, with health, with dreams. We fall once and label ourselves. But falling is feedback, is identity. When you fall or you fail at something, study it to find out why you failed at it, to make sure it don't happen again. When you make a mistake, study that mistake because your mistakes are events. They're not definitions of what you are. So stop defining yourself by moments. Define yourself by direction. Say to yourself, "I'm improving, I'm learning, I'm growing." Those words create momentum, and momentum builds confidence. See, most of the time, confidence is not loud. It is consistent. It is consistent. It is built quietly through repeated self respect. Ask yourself this question. Do you hear a tree growing in the woods? You don't, but you see the fruits that it bears at the end. Okay? It's built quietly. And self respect again starts in your speech. So from today forward, when you catch yourself speaking negative, pause for a while and gently correct it. Don't correct it with guilt, correct it with awareness. You might say, that's not how I speak to myself anymore. That one sentence can change your trajectory because awareness creates choices. Choices create changes, and you are not here to be perfect. You are here to become better. And becoming better requires better language. Now, silently repeat this in your mind. I'm patient with myself. I'm growing every day. I speak life over myself. Let those words settle in. This is how you transform sound internally. This is how you confidently grow quietly. And this is how you identify your identity evolves. Your words are not small, they are shaping your future in real time. So every sentence is a direction. So choose directions that lead you forward. Choose words that strengthen you. Choose language that builds your future because your voice is powerful. And when your voice supports you, your life supports you back. Your words are energy, and your energy is becoming your reality. Thank you guys, and I hope that this got to most of you on this call tonight. I sure hope that it did because it is something that we got to change if we want to do better in life with anything, not necessarily just business. It could be your relationship with your spouse, it could be a relationship with your significant other, it could be a change with the way you deal with your kids. I remember there was times growing up when I was raising my kids that it's time to put them to bed and they won't go to bed. And when I get angry and I start yelling at them. And then I had to think about this. They went to bed angry or no, they went to bed scared. I had to start changing that. When it was time to get them up in the morning, I'll yell at them. It's time to get up, get ready for school. I had to change that because they went to school fearing with fear. And then I started tickling them and have them wake up laughing. That changed the way they felt when they went to school. So a lot of things you have to deal with. You have to change the way that you do things if you want to see progress in your life. So again, I hope that I got across this to you guys tonight because we have to change the way we think about ourselves because other people are already talking bad about us. We don't need to talk bad about ourselves. Back to you, Miriam.
Wow. You all please give Coach Seymour some love in the chat. I needed that. I needed that. I needed that so much because I realized watching my parents that I did started doing things that I saw them do and brought that into my family. And I see that with my, I'm like, you don't think that it's going to affect people around you, but it does. How they perceive you, how they perceive themselves. So thank you so much for that. I can't add nothing to it, but that was just amazing. Thank you so much for that. I cannot wait to listen to this again and really, really soaking in um so much, so many nuggets. I took notes, but so much that Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Um, I do believe our another entourage member of our coaching team is here, Coach Will Zanders. He is a multiple seven-figure earner in the network marketing world, seven-figure earner at our green organics companies at HBN, and our first six-figure earner at Golden Sana, an amazing, amazing teacher. I'm sure he's got some new nuggets for us to share. Coach Will Zanders, are you available, sir?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I literally just got in like 20 minutes ago from Miami back to Pensacola. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that, but I'm gonna hop off camera and just kind of freestyle a little bit because I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to make it back on time for this particular call. But I want to thank Coach Seymour. I'm gonna touch on what he said as well. I want to thank Miriam as well, and I want to thank Coach Marcus as well for all that the three of you do for the team. It is never ever unnoticed or unappreciated. So that being said, let me just dive into some stuff right quick. But we are going to start off with a little bit about um, what Coach Seymour was talking about as far as identity. And it's very, very interesting that he talked about that. I'm going to give you just a mindset that I would like for you to adopt should you so choose about identity. And you notice that Coach Seymour said that identity is really about the future. And I believe had he elaborated, he could have, just blessed us with another hour on that same subject or two or three. But I want you to think of your identity as the future you. I want you to just imagine there's a past you, which you are not anymore, and there is a future you that you aspire to be. And you're grateful in this moment for all the progress you've made and for all the things you've overcome. And you can take a deep breath and just sit with that appreciation for where you currently are based on where you've been. And you're not upset with the person that you used to be. You love that person and you appreciate that person because they did the best they could with what they have. So you can never live with regret and end up successful. You can never look at the person you used to be and focus on, man, I wish I did this different. I wish I would have acted different. I wish I would have made this different decision. I wish I would have knew more in that moment, but you didn't. And it's okay. The old you did the best they could with what they had. And Albert Einstein said, couldn't nobody do any better than that. You can only do the best you have with the information, skills, and everything that you have with you in the moment. But now we move to the future you truly aspire to be. And the trick, it's not really a trick, but a lot of people act like they don't know it. The secret to becoming the future you as fast as possible is by viewing or making decisions in the moment through the lens of the future you. Would the future you do that particular thing in that moment? If not, then you don't need to do that thing. And it only takes a little bit of discipline for a little while before you make that thought process a habit. If you're trying to quit something and you keep saying to yourself, I'm gonna quit smoking, I'm gonna quit drinking, I'm gonna quit doing this, I'm gonna quit doing that, I'm gonna quit porn, I'm gonna quit this, I'm gonna quit lying, I'm gonna quit stealing, I'm gonna quit do whatever it is, doesn't matter. The future me ain't gonna do that. If you really think that to yourself, you've probably been saying the same stuff for years. 2026 just a different year, but you've been saying the same thing. I'm gonna quit this. I'm gonna quit that. I'm gonna take my business more seriously. At some point, you have to understand that the only time that truly exists is the now. It's present. That's why they call it a present because it's a gift. The past is gone, can never return. The future is not here yet. And when the past was here, it was the present. When the future gets here, it's the present. The only time that actually exists is the present. And if all you took away from this call, if all you did differently this year was make decisions in the moment viewed through the lens of your future self, would my future self invest in this? Would my future self work out today? Would my future self not smoke this cigarette? Would my future self not take this drink? Would my future self not? If you literally just started to do things as the future you would be you, every piece of reality you encounter would bend to the new you. You would literally be having a magnet and pulling the future you into reality. And it would happen so fast, people wouldn't even understand what happened to you. It's the most fascinating thing you can do is to just start to make decisions on a daily basis in the moment as if you were already the future you. And it has nothing to do with spending money. It is literally just your day-to-day routine stuff. A lot of it, some of it has to do with business. Not a lot of it. Not a lot of it. And a lot of people have never done that because you've never really drawn out or laid out in your 20 reasons why characteristics that your future self has. So there's no clarity. When there's no clarity, there's no power. For example, you could have a car with 800 horsepower, but if it's pitch black and you got a blindfold on, you're afraid to hit that gas. There's no power because you can't see. You need to see your future self and make decisions based on that individual's characteristics and what do they do? How do they treat their business? How do they talk to people? What's their posture? What's their auto ship at? You have to make those decisions in real time, and I assure you it'll change you faster than anything else that I could possibly recommend. But that being said, just got back from Miami, Florida. I was in LA this weekend for a conference. Conference was $5,000. That is the most I've ever spent to attend a conference. And that's the second time I've done that. Okay, second time I've done that. And I have over 120 pages of notes for this from this conference. That's number one. And we got to do this too. Yeah, and I've been out of town, Coach Seymour, but I'm buying a book tonight. I've been traveling all weekend, and we were at this conference for 12 hours a day, easily 12 hours a day, typically a little bit longer, day after day after day. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I'm so glad I went. And Coach Seymour, if you have a link for the book, can you drop that in the chat, please? I got to get my copy tonight. Now that I'm back home, thank you so much. Cannot wait to get that and read. I know it's going to be powerful. But that being said, just want to touch on a couple different things. I want you to imagine that I mailed in the mail every single person on this call a Powerball ticket. I just want you to imagine that. Every single one of you on this call, and I might do that one day because why not, right? Every single person on the call gets a Powerball ticket from the Florida lottery. People always be winning the lottery in Florida, but the Powerball. And I want you to imagine that it's Wednesday night, this Wednesday, upcoming Wednesday, and you got your ticket and you're listening to the numbers get read. You go to the streaming website and you're like, all right, let me see what these numbers are. And they read the numbers, and the numbers are not the winning numbers. Your ticket did not win. And I'm going to ask you, the ticket didn't win, even if it was off by a couple numbers, might have been close, but didn't win any money at all. Just didn't win. Would you go to the gas station to redeem that ticket? Yes or no? Put that in the chat. If you would go to the gas station and try to redeem that losing ticket, and you know it's a losing ticket, would you go to the gas station to redeem it? Just be yeah, absolutely not. That'd be silly. That'd be dumb. Now let's say, for example, you're listening to them read off the winning numbers on Wednesday, and you don't believe it at first, but you listen to it again, and you check the numbers when they put them on the screen again, and you have the winning numbers to the Powerball ticket. And at the time, the drawing is $225 million if you take the cash payout. Okay. Now, here's the catch. You got to go to the gas station to redeem the ticket. Let's just pretend you're not going to the state lottery commission like you're supposed to. Let's just pretend it's the gas station. All right. Would you go to the gas station to redeem that ticket? Okay. Jessica says yes, but with protection, of course. Right. Greta says sure. Greta's like, she might send Doug. Greta's not sold on it. It's not a trick question. I would go. I hate to break it to you. You can pretend this to look. Jamar said no. She said no, not going to the gas station. That's crazy. Let's pretend like now. Remember, I'm using the gas station as an example for the lottery state commission where you would actually have to go. So just pretend it's a big safe building, lottery commission. Yeah, of course, everybody should want to go. All right. Now here's the thing. If it was snowing, would you still go? And you only had 48 hours to get there and turn it in just to claim it. If it was 48 hours and it was snowing, would you still go? All right. What if it was raining? What if you had 72 hours to get to the lottery commission and your car didn't work? It wasn't snowing, but your car didn't work. Would you find a way to get there? What if you wasn't feeling good? What if you're the one who had to turn it in, but you really feeling under the weather? You're feeling like, oh, I just don't feel good, but you only got X amount of hours to go redeem it. You see, everybody who at least is being honest or in their right mind, or even want to bless some other people with some money or take care of their family or something, everybody would find a way to go. Driving slow, even if you are visually impaired. We have some team members who are visually impaired for the moment. I'm believing God for some miracles on our team, but they would still find a way to get there, I can assure you. And now here's why. Here is why you would find a way, because you believe that you had won. If you had didn't believe that you won, you wasn't going to go. You wouldn't care. Belief is so powerful that if you just believed you'd won, you would do anything to get there. And that's the mindset that I wish I could give you about your business. You just got to believe that you won already, and you would do the things necessary to win. Coach Marcus will tell you, when I first got to HB, and I told him, man, I'm making millions of dollars over here. I was a $5,000 pearl, $1,000 pearl. And I was on calls or Zooms. I wasn't saying I had made more. I was telling people what I was going to do. And I really was going to do it because I believed I would. Never missed an event, never missed an auto ship, never missed a nothing, never missed a call if I wasn't half dead on the side of the road or traveling something. It's certain things that you do when you believe, and there's certain things you don't do when you don't believe. You just got to understand that conceptually. Okay. Now at this conference, so you got over 100 some pages of notes, which is just crazy. It's about 200 to 300 people in the room, and half the room, if I had to guess, half the room is multimillionaires on an annual basis. On an annual basis. And it taught me you can't be the biggest person in your room if you want to grow. You have to actively seek out larger circles or people who are just honestly better than you. You just got to seek it out. And this was my first experience in person, honestly reaching a point in the business where I'm like, all right, I need some new skills. I need something's different. I got to change something. I'm teaching people that they know enough to make millions of dollars, but there's another level to this thing. And I really took it upon myself this weekend to get to that event and unlock that. Okay. Now remember, if you're filtering your current decisions through the lens of your future self, you would go to stuff like that, because that's something I try to do. Future me would have no problem spending $5,000 on an event, or 10 or 25 or 100 or whatever. Future me wouldn't have a problem with that. Okay. Now, when I'm leaving the event, and we'll talk about some of the things we learned at the event, but when I'm leaving the event, I understood something very interesting, that people who have a problem spending money or investing money in themselves and their personal development, even if it's a $50 ticket to Dallas, even if it's just a plane ticket to Dallas, or even if it's, you don't spend that to Dallas, you're never going to spend $5,000 to be in a room with hundreds of millionaires. You're never going to do that. You're never going to do that and be in a room with people with $50 million houses. You're never going to do that. To people who spend 6 months a year in Bora Bora and the Maldives, and it's $50,000 a week. That's how much it costs for the food, the drinks, the whatever, because it's an island, so you got to get everything brought in. I'm learning this from people this weekend. Like, there are different levels to income. People spend $1 million a day. I've seen it happen. It's the most craziest thing you ever seen. But it has to build your belief. People who have a problem, when I say spending money, just understand I mean investing money. It comes from an area of, I don't think there's going to be any more. You may think you're being frugal. You may think you're being smart. That's why you've been at the same financial state you've been in for the last 10 years. And I had to just accept that. Because if you're not willing to invest in yourself and your personal development and your growth, it's yours. You can say whatever you want out your mouth. Your actions are saying, I do not anticipate more money coming in, because if I did, I would not be worried about $500 or $1,000 or $50. I wouldn't care. That's the truth. Because if you really believed, and again, we talked about belief, when you believe, you do anything to get to the lottery ticket to cash it in. When you really believe that you're going to be a top earner in the company, or a top earner in life, and start other businesses too, and do all of these things, if you really believe that, you will conduct yourself so much differently. But the first place that shows up is in the area of spending money. When I say spend, I mean investing money, especially in your growth and your personal development. One thing that most of the millionaires who took the stage said when it comes down to investments, because people's asking, what you investing in? What's your investments? They listed all investments they invested in over the years and currently and what they think is going to be amazing. It's great networking, incredible networking. I signed up 2 new business partners there. That was great. But they said that their number one investment annually has to be in themselves. And this is why they will spend 5,000. There's another event for $80,000 that sold out in the room. I watched people literally. He said, look, I got 10 spots. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do a meeting. It's going to be a 6-day event. It's $80,000. It's going to be at my home. One of these guys has a castle. It's going to be at my home. And they're doing this personal development stuff. Talk about this. And the event sold out in 90 seconds. I had never seen, it was only like 25 spots. And I saw people just get up like it was nothing and just spend $80,000. I'm like, what have I been doing with my life to the point where, and it seems normal. It was the energy of being around people where spending $80,000 just to go to an event to learn and network and be around people who are billionaires at that point, it's nothing. It's lit, and I know it sounds crazy to say. It sounded crazy before I saw it, to be quite honest with you. But I'll give you a story about how it works. So I leave the event. The event ended day before yesterday, I think, Sunday night. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The event is Sunday night. I'm exhausted. It's been nonstop for 3 days straight, minimum 12 hours a day. And I'm staying at the event hotel. And I leave to fly home out of LAX the next day, which is Monday. All right. So I pack up, get to the airport, drop off the rental car, ready to be home. I miss my bed, miss my family, miss home cooked meals. But my brain is full of information and I'm on a high because they did such incredible personal development work from a level that I had never experienced before, quite frankly. And I'm gonna be sharing some of it that's appropriate to share. We'll be sharing in Dallas, which is going to be phenomenal for you. I can assure you. You thought you thought Vegas was lit. That Dallas going to be crazy because I'm accumulating new information for y'all, so you don't have to spend $5,000. But you should, right? You definitely should do it yourself. So I'm leaving and I'm going to the airport. I get to the airport and the flight's delayed. And oh, here's the other thing. I only got a one-way ticket. I didn't get my return ticket because I didn't know when the event was going to end. I didn't know yet. I was like, I'll just get the go home ticket once I figure out the daily schedule because I was going to fly home Sunday, but I wasn't sure if the event was going to be like an 8 hour a day, 12 hour a day, 3 hours. I had no idea, to be honest. There was no itinerary. Sometimes for these things, there are no itineraries. And I was like, oh, so broke people care about itineraries. So they could plan, they got to get back and do this. But people that got that type of money, it's just like, we get done, we get done. We don't have a boss. I'm like, golly. So I had to really understand, ain't no itinerary. That made me feel good about being real lax about itineraries for events. So I'm like, all right, I must be in the right mindset because y'all know our stuff be last minute, like talking about. So, the event was long. The flight was delayed. So I ended up booking a flight on Sunday evening and I was really tired, just exhausted. So I said, I'm gonna fly back first class. So I'm gonna fly back first class. And I said, can be my first instinct was I don't need to fly back first class. I'm so tired, I'm gonna be asleep the whole way anyway. But I was like, nope, something is telling me, prodding me to go ahead and fly first class. And I said, all right. So I did. I can't tell y'all to do nothing I wouldn't do. So I fly first class, I get there, and the flight's delayed. The flight coming in. So we don't leave for like another 2 hours. I mean, this is Monday. So I'm like, all right. Then I realized that I missed my flight. My connection for that flight is in Miami. And we missed to come back to Pensacola, Florida, and I missed the connection. No problem. So it's late at night. We still get on our plane, and I'm getting on a plane, and I go sit in my little first class seat. Well, it was actually a pretty big first class seat. On the way to get onto the boarding area, I see this beautiful couple. They're older, probably in their 70s or 60s, probably 70s if I had to guess. But they are dressed identically in Billionaire Boys Club clothes. Like, and I love Billionaire Boys Club. I love the brand. And they're adorable. I mean, they're older black couple. Both of them had like 2 gold teeth. You can tell they came from the hood, made some money, and they love each other. It was the sweetest thing I'd ever seen. And so walking by them, they were getting up to, and I just reached out and gave the gentleman a fist bump, and he bumped my fist. I just love, they remind me of my dad, man. It was so cool. And they were dressed decked out too, man, decked out. So I'm getting on the plane. They get on the plane. They on the plane in the first class in the first 2 seats, and I'm in the second seat right behind them. So that was kind of interesting. as other people are coming onto the plane, because the first class people came on first, there was a dude that came on. He was decked out, and I'm like, what? I mean, he was decked, iced out. Like I don't know who this guy is, but he was wearing a lot of money. I'll say that. And he stopped and he spoke to the lady in the couple. Her name ended up being Carolyn, so I'll tell you. And she said, "Oh, hey, so and so." And he said, "Hey, Miss Carolyn, how you doing?" And they spoke and said, "We had a great time the other day." And so he walks to the first class seat behind me. And then another gentleman comes up right behind him, and this gentleman had an aura about him, but he was short, relatively short in comparison. Had on a ball cap, some glasses, like kind of like Miriam's glasses. They weren't sunglasses, like Miriam's glasses, like glasses. He had like a little beard scruff or whatever, but and had just jeans and just a regular dude. And I'm like, okay. And he walked through and he talked to Miss Carolyn too. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. He looks vaguely familiar. Can't really place his face. So I just stick my hand out to fist bump him because that's like my thing, right? And he fist bumped me. And then I get a good look at his face underneath the ball cap. It's Kendrick Lamar. I said, oh my gosh, it's Kendrick Lamar to play. This is amazing. I thought he'd be flying private, but apparently this circle of people was together and they were together. And so they all just decided to fly together to Miami from Los Angeles for whatever reason. I have no idea. So they're getting ready to leave. The gentleman who's sitting next to Miss Carolyn, who's her husband, he turns to the seat kind of behind me and says, "Hey, young man, I don't know you. What do you do? Or where are you from? You going to Miami?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in Pensacola, Florida." And he said, "You're not from LA?" Because he knew everybody else in first class except for me. And he says, "Well, no, he said you were in LA for the Grammys." And I said, "No, I was at a work conference." He said, "Well, I was here for the Grammys." I said, "Well, he said, yeah, my son got an award." I said, "Well, shucks, man, who's your son?" He was so proud. He says, "Pharrell Williams. You know Pharrell?" And I said, "Yeah, I love Pharrell." I said, "I love Pharrell Williams. Neptune's Nerd Clips album, greatest producer of the last 20 years. Yeah, happy. Yeah." He said, "Yeah, he won an award." I said, "Oh, that's amazing." And Miss Carolyn was just beaming with pride. So these are Pharrell's parents. Pharaoh and Carolyn Williams are in front of me in first class. This is amazing. And so we get to talking about the clothing brand because I got Billionaire Boys Club all of my suitcases. We're talking about stuff, and I'm talking about the music and albums and production. We just having a blast talking about music and fashion in general and money. He says, "So what do you do?" That's all I needed to hear. And I gave him the spiel of the same thing I teach y'all. "Well, sir, thank you for asking. I was in law enforcement for X amount of years. I retired early because of this online health and wellness company I started." And then Miss Carolyn's ears perked up. She goes, "Online health and wellness? Well, what do y'all have?" And then she nudges him, "Sweetie, tell him what you got going on." So he starts telling me about his issues with high blood pressure, hypertension, this, he might have to get on dialysis, this, that, and the third. I said, "You got the right seat today." And we in first class, you got free Wi-Fi. So we texting back and forth and talking the entire flight. The entire flight. They must have bought thousands of dollars worth of products before we hit the ground. Anything I texted her a link, he was saying, "Buy it now, buy it now." He was just telling them, "Buy it now, no, get that. We need the black seed, or get that." He just said this. And she would ask questions, and I would go right to Chat GPT. I would type up what I wanted to say. I would tell Chat GPT, this is literally happening on the plane. I would type them in the chat and I would say, "Hey, Chat GPT, tell me about black seed oil," but make it casual as if I'm sending a message to my aunt. So I had it really kind of make it sound like I'm really sending a text. And I would text her on the plane. Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating stuff. And she texted me again today because she texted me and said, "All right, well, can't wait to get everything. I want to get some more stuff, but there's this other company I had questions about." She literally texted me today. And I said, and I forget the name of the company, it starts with an N, nobody cares. But she said, "What's the difference between y'all company and this company?" And I said, "Well, number one, I'm not going to bash any company, So I did research the company while I was waiting I was in Miami this morning. And I researched the other company and I said, that's a really good company, but they have about 7 products and we have over 200 because we don't believe that everybody's body is the same. Sometimes it takes a little more diversity of your product line for us to really get you the products that are going to really work for you. And so 7 products just really isn't enough. The products I recommended, like the 10 or 11 products I recommended, 2 of them were for Amazon. I don't get paid for that, but I want him to get the stuff he needs for the things that he was dealing with. When I said the products that I recommended for you, those are just the ones that I know that would really work for what's going on with Mr. Williams. Other companies, they just don't have enough diversity to really attach, to really handle everything like we do. And the second thing I said was, Our products are all natural and all organic, and they're produced in a facility that gets surprise inspections from the FDA to make sure that our products are on point and everything's clean and pure. And the other company, my research determines they don't do that. And the third thing that makes our company better is I don't come with any other company. You get me. When you purchase products from us, you get a friend for life. You ain't the internet. You don't have to go to support chat. You can call me. You can text me just like you're doing right now, and I will be there long after these issues that Mr. Williams has are resolved. I promise you. You have my word. You get me. And I need y'all to understand that the number one thing that people get when they purchase from you is they get you. Now, if you're not a person that's reliable, or you're not a person that works on their skills, or you're not a person who takes this business seriously, or you're not a person who's going to do the research to be a real professional, if you're not a person who wants to go to the top of this company pay plan by getting products into the hands of the most people and teaching people how to get products into the hands of the most people, you don't deserve for people to enroll with you. You don't deserve it because you're not going to treat them right. You're not going to take care of them. You're not going to prioritize them. They need to either get with another company or they need to sign with somebody else on the team who takes this stuff seriously. If you don't take it seriously, I'm telling you, God is my witness, you don't deserve to have them as a customer because you're not going to give them the best customer experience. And you got to have that conversation with yourself. You got to take pride in what you do. Your self talk has to be you will never find someone who will help you, somebody who is not going to jump 37 companies and promote 37 different products and get your customers all confused. You got to really decide who the future you is, and you got to start acting like that, and everything around you will happen, and reality will literally bend to your will. It will bend around you to create the reality that the future you deserves to have. And it's a lot more simple than you think. Okay. And so the money for the first time, I made that back today. That wasn't even an issue. It was the fact that I didn't know that was going to happen, but I trust God. I trusted everything was going to work out. It wasn't a big deal, but I needed to be next to them. I needed to be seated next to them. And that happened. Now, when I get to Miami, story's not done. When I get to Miami, my next flight isn't until today. So I got a day in Miami to move around and do some things. I'm like, all right, this is good. Let's go meet some people. Now, mind you, my bags were going to Pensacola. I could not get my bags. Just let you know, I'm in the same clothes I had yesterday. Didn't go buy no new clothes. I just Ubered to the most crowded area I could find in Miami just to go meet some people. I got a toothbrush from the hotel front desk, and I got the same socks on. I ain't gonna talk about the draw situation. It was Commando Kenya today. It's just what it is. It's what it is. I'm in Miami, man. We're ready to do it today. Weather's beautiful. It's fantastic, and I don't care. From the Uber driver, got his information. We're gonna be talking about business this week. The clerks at the store. I went to just graffiti place in the hood with graffiti ever because I love street art. I made so many contacts and so many friends and so many people just in the time of a couple of hours before I got a chance to come back home. Blessed to make it back home good. The last thing I'll tell you is there was a deal with some big network marketers that were going to come to HBN last week. I did 2 phone calls with their top leaders for about an hour or so apiece. One's from Luxembourg. And again, why they're reaching out to me, they're reaching out simply because they had to find the network marketers that were not afraid to travel, to spend money to travel to do meetings for their people. Ain't nobody else at HBN willing to get on a plane to go to another country because that's how serious I take this business. And they know they like, Will, we couldn't find you on Facebook. We didn't know you was even in HBN. We ain't even, you don't have enough on your page. But when we asked around and started calling other people from HBN, asking who is going to support our team in Europe, this big old team we got, millions, this, that, and the third. All we heard was the only person who does stuff like that and spends out their own pocket since 2019 to support teams, even if the team overseas fails, is going to be you. Now, that was last week. It fell apart for whatever reason. Got an email back from the guy. The guy said, man, you know what? We just going to go in a different direction. Thank you so much for your help. We're going to go in a different direction. I didn't care. I said, no problem at all. None, zero. Please tell me why, as soon as I landed today, I had 80 billion voicemails, didn't answer none of them, did not use the Wi Fi on the plane coming back today. I just wanted to rest. Tell me why they were blowing my phone up because they somehow random change of heart in a deal that fell apart is now a deal that's apparently we'll see. But now they want to do it and they got my link and everything. So we'll see. But my point is, if people tell you no, I don't care if it's a big earner, little earner, it doesn't matter. You do your best. You do exactly what Miriam did. If they don't want to work with you, you professional. I didn't get mad about it. Didn't go off about it. Did exactly what Miriam did. Just okay, cool. Well, all right, thank you. I'll talk in the future. Maybe, maybe not. No big deal. And have a good day. And that's that. That's how it happens. And I never want you to be surprised with you being a professional will have people circle back. And I told them today when I called them back, I said, listen, I'm not about to waste none of my time. We'd already been on the phone. I'm sending y'all a link. You can sign up and get enrolled and get locked in if you want. Then we can work. Otherwise, I got to go. I got things to do because you got to have that posture. You got to really know in your heart, the same way that future you knows, you don't need them. They need you. They need these products. They need this pay plan. And if you are serious about going to the next level and you're going to really do right by people and be a professional and stop playing small and cutting corners and playing that how little can I do game that a lot of network marketers play. How little can I do? What's the bare minimum I can do to get the best result? When you finally stop playing that and you go all in and you go all out, you in the room in Dallas because you know what time it is. When you get there, you'll attract all the people you need and more because people intuitively know better. They just know better. Okay. So that being said, I'm taking. Thank y'all for your time. Thank you, Coach Seymour. Thank you, Coach Marcus. Thank you very so much. I appreciate y'all. We'll do much more on Sunday. But I have about 120 pages of notes. These notes are phenomenal. These are phenomenal, by the way. I'm going to go through them. A lot of this information is going to be not for amateur network marketers, but for people who really want to be professional. So, so it's not our normal call material at all. This is going to be $5,000 worth of information. Um, if you are at 100 CV with HBN and Go Desana, I'm going to be doing a special call once a week, and I'm just going to go through all of those notes until the call ends. You don't have to pay nothing for the call, but I want you to really respect the information. And this is another thing I'll tell you that I learned, which is just really fascinating. And a billionaire told me this. He has a twin brothers, two of them. And he said, Will, the reason why some things cost the way they cost is because, and he saw the look on my face when people just dropping 80 bands like it wasn't $80,000 like it was nothing. He said, I want you to understand why, and it wasn't even him getting the money. He had already been to this particular class before. He said, I want you to understand why some things have to cost what they cost. Because if things don't cost a certain amount, not only will people not implement it, not only will people think it's cheap, not only will people not use it because there's no skin in the game. He said, if it doesn't cost a certain amount, it will not penetrate. The information that they get will not penetrate to the depth of how deep it needs to go in them to affect change. If you pay $80,000 for a course, is there anything you are not going to implement? You are going to go there expecting magic and you're going to get it. And then you're going to use it. But if that same course was $50, you would attract a certain type of person who really does not understand value or anything. So I apologize to y'all, honestly, for having events be $50 or so for so long, simply because what I see happen is the people use the information, they see change and they grow and they make money and they ended up being the next six-figure earners, people who are serious and people who are getting there, they can see it. But sometimes I just do not feel as if the information that we provide is penetrating you to a depth deep enough because there's simply just not enough skin in the game. I'm gonna be honest with you. So we're not going up on prices. Nothing. The event is still $50. We probably got 10 or 15 tickets left. But my point is, um, I need you to really take the calls that we're going to be doing. If you're at 100 CV with HBN and Go Desana, you'll be able to attend that call. And I can see the entire organization, at least for Go Desana, I can. Coach Marcus can see the whole organization from HBN. If you're not there, don't worry about the call. The call is not for you. But for the people who are going to be on that call, I assure you, you are going to get all $5,000 worth of value plus some. The only things I can't do is the stuff that had to be done in person with the professionals and the mindset coaches they had there. I can't do that over the phone. So, and I'm not certified to do that anyway. But it'll be amazing for you. You'll really, really enjoy it. And we'll put the icing on the cake in Dallas, Texas. So if you don't already have your event ticket, I don't know what to tell you. 10 or 15 tickets left at the most. Please get those, knock those out. Um, I'm not going to tell you twice. You know if you need to be in a room, if you need to take your business serious or not. And I just want the best for you. I want the best 2026 you could possibly have. And calls like this, when Coach Seymour and myself and Coach Marcus and Miriam are pouring into you, please, for your sake of your business and your health from a business standpoint, don't underestimate or undervalue the type of value that you get. We appreciate y'all so much, and we will see y'all on tomorrow. You have a good night, and God bless.